give me some sort of retro, you know, like, Life on Mars. He went, oh, yeah, I'll knock off a quick Life on Mars for you.
When people are late constantly, their time's more important than yours, and that's not good.
I also think, how could you be late to meet me?
Are you two brothers?
What positions did you play?
Well, this is it. I could hide up front and just go, no one's
passing me the ball.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he used to do as well, yeah.
I felt a lot of people were being frustrated. They couldn't say, except you, what was on your mind. Why have they got leaf blowers?
That is him.
What are they doing? God. They're going to blow back.
Are you not a hugger?
No, we'll get you touching your germaphobe.
No, they said keep it quick, just go and sit down.
Oh, okay, so we can touch you?
Yeah, of course.
I'm like, wow, you just thought you were hugging. Because you gave hugs the last time you were here.
I feel like a strippogram. I've only been vegan for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. But I was veggie before that, and I sort of generally phased it out over my life, I suppose.
What's your reason for veggie?
Well, it's always been ethical, I think. You know, I just think, and I do a lot for animal charity, so I felt sort of hypocritical if I was saving dogs but eating sheep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's what you do, Roy. You save dogs and you eat meat.
Wow.
I brought the... I'm really sorry.
I'm not the guest here. Focus on the guest.
That's the first time I've seen you speechless. What do you enjoy most? Do you enjoy the stand-up stuff, or do you enjoy...
I do. I think I enjoy getting it together. You know, the initial idea. I think the best idea gets is when it's in your head, and then your job is to ruin it as little as you can. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's lots of restrictions. You can't just do the first thing that comes in your head because it's not ready. You have to make it understandable and palatable and all those things. So you work on it, and I enjoy it finishing and starting again. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's like a parachute jump. Every time you go out there, you think. You're not enjoying it at the time, but then you land, you go, I didn't die.
Yeah.
I didn't die. That's the sort of euphoria, do you know what I mean? It's like, I suppose it is like an adrenaline sport.
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais is one of the funniest people around, and his new special, Talking Funny, is a behind-the-scenes look at stand-up comedy with his pals Chris Rock, Jerry Seinfeld, and Louis C.K. sitting around talking about what else being funny. Take a look.
This is Jerry Seinfeld doing Louis C.K.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going on my vacation with my family. We pack up the car and the kids, and I'm clicking in the car seats, and I put the wife in, and I get everything set. And it's so much work to get a family in a car. I close the door for my wife on the passenger side. I walk around to the driver's side. That's my vacation. Is that how it goes?
That's a completely Seinfelded version.
Really?
I mean, you really polished it up. You made it nice. You made it nice.
Okay, please welcome back Ricky Gervais.
Appearance on The View. Comedian Ricky Gervais sat down with Joy Behar and her co-hosts to discuss his HBO special, Talking Funny. The special offers an intimate look into the world of stand-up comedy, featuring Gervais alongside Chris Rock, Jerry Seinfeld, and Louis C.K. in a candid conversation about their craft. With his signature wit and unapologetic humor, Gervais touched on a variety of topics, including his Golden Globes hosting controversies, atheism, and the role of women in comedy.
Whenever they ask that question, one of those silly questionnaires that celebrities do, there's always, what's the first thing you do if you had a time machine? They all say, oh, I'd go back and kill Hitler. Really? You'd go back and buy Microsoft shares, you fucking liar, right? I've interviewed people on my radio show in America, right? And I always ask that question for a laugh, and they all say, oh, I'd go back and kill Hitler. I go, you know, people tried at the time, and now they say, oh, no, I'd go back and kill him when he was a little baby. So you'd go back and find baby Hitler, right, who hasn't done anything wrong yet, and just strangle him, would you? Also, have you seen Hitler when he was a baby? Oh, my God, absolutely adorable. Look at that. Look at his little face. You'd go back, you want to kill Hitler, and you go, is that Hitler? Yeah, oh, you go, oh, could you little Nazi, you. I know what you're thinking. Why have I got a picture of baby Hitler on my phone? That's my business.
The segment kicked off with Gervais humorously addressing his reputation for being a germaphobe, laughing off the playful accusations from the hosts. This light-hearted banter set the tone for a lively discussion. The conversation naturally shifted to his HBO special, where Gervais explained that the idea was to bring together comedians he admired to share their experiences, philosophies, and techniques. He emphasized that talking funny wasn't just for comedians, but for anyone who loves the art of humor.
Are you not a hugger?
No, touching your germaphobe?
No, they said keep it quick, just go and sit down.
Oh, okay, so we can touch you?
Yeah, of course.
I'm like, wow, you didn't know you were huggy. Because you gave hugs the last time you were here.
I feel like a strippogram. Who's got $1?
You know, we haven't seen you really around since the Golden Globes, where you were
a low profile.
Yeah, well, they attacked you, but they said that you were mean and rude, and you were surprised at that. You were surprised. Let me just read one of the things they thought was...
I am mean rude. I'm surprised they attacked me for it, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let me read one thing they thought was mean, and we'll decide whether it was mean or not, okay? Referring to Sex and the City 2, you said, I was sure the Golden Globe would go to the team that airbrushed that poster.
Yeah.
A little sexist.
No, it's not. Why is it sexist?
Well, because you're saying that the girls are older and they need to be airbrushed.
No, I think they look great at their age.
Oh.
Why hide it?
Oh.
I don't think that you lose your sensuality or your beauty because you hit 53. I'm saying, why are they hiding it?
Oh, I see. That's not what people got.
Do you think that when you have to explain the joke that maybe it wasn't told, that because people didn't get it, or you think that most people got it?
I'm defending my motives, not the joke. I stand by the joke.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything to apologise for, but that's not the joke. I think if you're going to criticise, you've got to understand the joke before you can.
Okay, how about this one? Referring to the I Love You, Philip Morris movie, you said, 2 heterosexual actors pretending to be gay, so the complete opposite of some famous Scientologist then. Wink, wink.
I didn't name them. The press did. The press started saying he means these. That's terrible. No, I didn't do that. They outed people. I would never do that. I think it's terrible.
Has this ruined, has anything happened? Have you had fewer opportunities of people not watching your shows? Has it made any difference?
It made no difference at all. No,
Now, if they asked you...
I knew that. I knew it wouldn't make a difference.
No, that was the second time you had hosted. If they asked you to do it again, would you do it?
I don't think I should. I went and I did what I went to do. I thought I'd improve on the first time, and I had a blast, and it was great. But I don't know. I might do it. I might do it again.
And you didn't get to tell that you wanted to?
No, I don't think so. I planned everything that was planned. There was a conspiracy that I was pulled off. Yeah. No, I did everything I was meant to. There was just a big gap.
One notable point of discussion was the absence of female comedians on the panel. Gervais acknowledged the question with his usual humor, saying the participants were chosen based on his personal friendships and mutual respect. He reiterated his admiration for many talented women in comedy and joked that men might sometimes feel intimidated by funny women. However, he clarified that his choices for the special were not meant to exclude anyone, but rather to create a specific dynamic for the show.
I quite get
It's the looks to camera.
I know, and I'm just like, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, how long is that?
And the cast, everybody's amazing.
Yeah, well, that's the craft, that's the hard work, all that stuff. But the initial idea, I probably had the character of Brent like a good few years before The Office, and it was just I used to do sort of like sketches and do characters and take the mickey out of people. That started at school. I do impressions of teachers and stuff. So David Brent was like a Frankenstein of all the people I'd met in my adult life, and he was just a guy who just wanted to be loved, really.
Yeah.
That was it. It's one of those desperate people who just want to be... They just want to be your mate, and they can't, and he's stuck between worlds, and, he wants to be cool, so he talks about things he doesn't know about it. Yeah. But we've all got a bit of Brent in us. We all want to be loved. We all make a prat of ourselves, but there's not usually cameras here. So... And it was also... I'd watched a lot of docu-soaps of the 90s, those things where normal people got famous for 10 minutes, like... Airport and...
The interview delved into his time hosting the Golden Globes, where his sharp jokes sparked widespread debate. One joke that received attention was his comment about Sex and the City 2, where he joked about the heavily airbrushed promotional poster. While some labeled the joke as mean or sexist, Gervais defended it as light-hearted satire, explaining that his intention was never malicious. He humorously added that he admired the cast and saw no reason why aging should be hidden or criticized. He stood by his remarks, stating that comedy is subjective, and while not everyone may find a joke funny, that doesn't diminish its value.
As the show was ending, you yelled out, "Thank you, God, for making me an atheist."
Yeah.
That's funny. He's very ironic.
What's God got to do with it?
None of the fact that he's an atheist.
If God does everything.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the joke.
From what I've heard of God, he does everything. So he may be an atheist, doesn't he? Yeah. Also, how many people thank God when they win an award? You know, like God's concerned with Sandra Bullock winning an award. He's got earthquakes, he's got pestilence. Oh, Sandra Bullock, quick! I want her to win an award. And he goes, thank you, God. Oh, you love me so much. Yeah, God was concerned with you winning an award, love. You know what I mean?
And also, what about the poor schmuck who didn't win the award?
Exactly. Oh, he hates them. God hates them.
I know you're making your point, but I don't think it was Sandra Bullock who said that. But you're making the point. I'm just trying to clear it up.
No, he thinks I said it.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, but he was making
a joke.
I'm just trying to help.
It's a funny joke.
Thank you.
Hey, so I want to ask you about the HBO special, Talking Funny. We just saw a clip from it, right? So we got Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Louis C.K. No women comedians on that panel?
Who would you replace?
I don't know.
Replace or add?
No, because it was four people.
It's just four people.
Yeah, so who would you take off?
I wouldn't. I would just add.
There you go.
These are his favorites. He has the right. I think that you're the right.
We don't have a male on our
When
panel,
I do
so
a
we're kind
special
of
like
guilty.
that, I will do it with
Yeah,
women.
no, exactly. They're my friends, and I chose my friends. Oh, and also, men are intimidated by funny women, so we didn't want them in the room. That's a joke.
He said at one point that he didn't think women were funny. Do you think women are funny?
What's the difference? That's ridiculous.
It's a different sensibility.
Statistically, less women go into stand-up from what I've seen, so there's probably less to choose from.
Right.
But yeah, there are loads of funny women. I've worked with loads of funny women. Of course I have. There's loads of funny women here.
Now, you said something when I was watching your special. You said that you thought, when you were sitting there with Jerry and Chris and Louis, you said you thought that anybody could be funny, Ricky. And I'm going to tell you, because I disagree with that. I went to see Charlie Sheen at Radio City Music Hall. And I said, and we talked about this, and I said,
I almost went the whole show without saying that man's name.
Almost, you know I can't. But I said, at one point I said, to sit on that stage for 80 minutes and think you can hold an audience's attention is quite arrogant. And I went and saw him. It was not funny.
Did you see him?
You know,
I haven't seen him, no.
What do you think about that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's not a stand-up comedian, isn't he? I think he's...
I think he thought he was.
I think he's going through a bit of a phase at the moment, and I'm worried about it that he's being exploited. To be honest, I don't think I hope he turns
he's
up.
the one that's doing the shows.
Of course,
yeah.
I know, and it's it's nice now that he's realised a quiet night in doesn't necessarily mean on a life support machine. So he's sorted that a bit out, and it's good. I'm glad to see he's dating. Although I do want to tell him that there are some women in the world who haven't videoed every orgasm they ever had.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So he doesn't have to choose the ones that just...
That's funny. I love that.
Charlie, just one more point about it is that he is funny when he just speaks or tweets.
Yeah, no, he's great.
But he just can't sustain an hour and a half show. How many people can?
And he clearly had a bit of a problem, and I assume he's sorting out. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But,
Yes, he is. He is sorting it out. How are you, Ricky?
I haven't come here to be insulted.
Why don't you like the show Who Do You Think You Are? That show that traces your heritage. You don't like that show. Why?
Well, no, I was invited to do it a few times. I haven't seen the American one, but in England. And it turns out to be someone who's on there, and they suddenly find out their great-great-grandmother was a prostitute or something, and they start crying. What are you crying for? You didn't know her.
Because he's been
Who cares?
Because they've been doing it on the side and didn't want anyone to know.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't know it was heredity.
Oh, well, it could be. That's the problem. And my friend Carl Pilkington, who I do the animation with, says he'd never do it. He said, because if you had an Einstein in the family, everyone would be talking about it. So you're going to find out your great-great-grandfather was a murderer or a rapist or something. So just don't go there. If you don't know about it, it's probably bad. Yeah.
Ricky, when you're watching, it was, really great watching this with you guys and seeing you talk about the craft of comedy. Why do you think just a regular average person watching this on HBO, what do you think they would get out of it?
Well, I don't think that I don't think it's in. I don't think you have to be a professional comedian to enjoy it, because it's it's not a comedy show. It's a show about comedy. But of course, when you get like those guys chatting, it's come up with funny stuff. And there was points where I couldn't stop laughing at something Louis came up with, and then Chris Rock. Chris Rock doesn't speak much, but when he does, he cuts to the bone.
Jerry is a professor.
In the time we have left, I have to ask you about The Office, because most people know that you not only are a comedian yourself,
Stop looking at her like that.
What?
You like this.
She terrifies me.
No,
She terrifies me.
He's scared of you.
She came backstage and she went, "We're going to have fun. Enjoy yourself." Like that.
No, I was going to ask you about your... No, I'm going to do it. No, I'm going to defend myself.
Yeah,
I came out and I said, I'm so glad you're here. We're going to have fun. And you said, how do you know? And
There was none of this.
I said, is that
There was none of this.
We have to get out of here.
I was being nice. Nobody else came out. I came out.
That's
and
true.
I'm being maligned.
That's true.
And Barbara, we got to let Ricky go. We got to...
Gervais also addressed a quip he made about two actors in I Love You, Philip Morris, pretending to be gay, which some interpreted as a veiled jab at a particular celebrity. Gervais dismissed this, clarifying that he never named anyone and had no intention of outing individuals. He emphasized the importance of understanding a joke's context before criticizing it.
Jane, and there's people milling around, and then it was Greg Dyke who was the in charge of the BBC then, and he bounced over and said, "You're a massive Bowie fan, aren't you?" I went, "Yeah." He said, "Do you want to meet him?" I went, "Okay." Went, "Do you want to meet him?" Come on, go and meet him." I went, "Okay," right, and we're on the way to Bowie's dressing room, and on the way he went, Salman Rushdie joined us, right? So there's me, Jane, Salman Rushdie, Greg Dyke. He went down, he went, "All right." And Bowie sort of opened it, he went, "Oh, hello." And he was sort of eating. He went, "Hello, Salman," like that. And he went, "Oh, this is Ricky." And it's Jane. He went, "Hello." And he didn't know who I was, of course. And I said, "Great." He said, "Oh, thank you very much." Right, and that was it. And then about a week later, I got an email from David Bowie. He got my email. He could do that. He was David Bowie. He'd got someone had given him the Office DVD. He must have said, "Who was that fat little bloke?" with Salman Rushdie. Right. Anyway, he did The Office. "What's that?" And he got it on DVD, and he watched the DVD. And he sent me an email, and it just said, "I watched, I laughed, what do I do now?"
Right.
And then we sort of became pen pals, and then I met him.
You were in a band for a few years.
Well, yeah. I was in a band for about 6 months. I was at college, and we did a demo, we got signed, we put out a couple of singles. They failed miserably, we were dropped. That was it.
What was the band called?
It was called Shauna Dancing. It was sort of like 1983.
It has Spandau Ballet vibe.
Yeah, exactly. New romantic look. Yeah. Hair, jawline. Clothes that were small. And then you tried for a little while longer and you gave up. And I didn't really get a proper job till I'd given up properly at like 27, 28. And that's what led to me working in sort of an office for like...
How did you get the break then to get to where you... to start?
Well, as part of my office job, I was a middle manager in charge of like events at a big sort of college. I was approached by this new radio station. It was called XFM, trying to get their licence. And because they knew I had like loads of students, they said, "Do you want to help us get our licence?" And I said, "Sure." They had to do a week. It's called an RSL, I think, where they try it for a week and show the authorities they can do a radio show. And I just put it on the back of all my flyers for discos and bands, and they got their licence. And they said, "Oh, as a reward, do you want a job at the radio station?" And I went, "Yeah." It was in Charlotte Street, and they made me the head of speech, which was ludicrous. I didn't know what I was doing, right? And I was meant to sort of sort out the news, and it was too hard. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. So I just sort of, I said it'd be easy if I just come in and do it on the show, and so I just started popping up on the shows.
The conversation turned to Charlie Sheen, whose public antics had become a hot topic. Gervais expressed his concerns about Sheen's well-being, noting that while Sheen's tweets and interviews showcased his natural humor, sustaining a live stand-up performance is a different challenge. He pointed out that stand-up comedy requires a unique skill set to hold an audience's attention for an extended period, something Sheen might struggle with given his circumstances. Despite this, Gervais wished Sheen well, expressing hope that he was on a path to personal stability.
Are you not a hugger?
No, you're touching, you're germaphobe?
No, they said keep it quick, just go and sit down.
Oh, okay, so we can touch you?
Yeah, of course,
I'm like, wow, you didn't know you were huggy. Because you gave hugs the last time you you're here.
I feel like a strippogram.
Who's got $1?
You know, we haven't seen you really around since the Golden Globes, where you were
a low profile.
Yeah, well, they attacked you, but they said that you were mean and rude, and you were surprised at that. You were surprised. Let me just read one of the things they thought
I am mean
was...
and rude. I'm surprised they attacked me for it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let me read one thing they thought was mean, and we'll decide whether it was mean or not, okay? Referring to Sex and the City 2, you said, I was sure the Golden Globe would go to the team that airbrushed that poster.
Yeah.
A little sexist.
No, it's not. Why is it sexist?
Well, because you're saying that the girls are older and they need to be airbrushed.
No, I think they look great at their age. Why hide it?
Oh.
I don't think that you lose your sensuality or your beauty because you hit 53. I'm saying, why are they hiding it?
I see. That's not what people got.
Do you think that when you have to explain the joke that maybe it wasn't told, that because people didn't get it, or you think that most people got it?
I'm defending my motives, not the joke. I stand by the joke.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything to apologise for, but that's not the joke. I think if you're going to criticise, you've got to understand the joke before you can.
Okay, how about this one? Referring to the I Love You, Philip Morris movie, you said, 2 heterosexual actors pretending to be gay, so the complete opposite of some famous Scientologist then. Wink, wink.
I didn't name them. The press did. The press started saying he means these. I was thinking, that's terrible. No, I didn't. They outed people. I would never do that. I think it's terrible.
Has this ruined, has anything happened? Have you had fewer opportunities of people not watching your shows? Has it made any difference?
Made no difference at all. No,
Now, if they asked you...
I knew that. I knew it wouldn't make a difference.
No, that was the second time you had hosted. If they asked you to do it again, would you do it?
I don't think I should. I went and I did what I went to do. I thought I'd improve on the first time, and I had a blast, and it was great. But I don't know. I might do it. I might do it again.
And you didn't get to tell that you wanted to?
Well, no, I don't think so. I planned everything that was planned. There was a conspiracy that I was pulled up. Yeah. No, I did everything I was meant to.
When asked about his comedic style, Gervais explained that his humor is rooted in satire and honesty. He highlighted that while his jokes might not resonate with everyone, they are never meant to be cruel. Instead, his goal is to spark laughter and sometimes provoke thought. He added that comedy, at its best, should challenge norms and encourage introspection while remaining entertaining.